Hello students, welcome back to Ekcel Academy's YouTube channel. Here we bring to you the current affairs weekly roundup. This is session number 6, and here we are trying to cover the news events that have taken place between February 8th and February 12th. So let's start with the first news bit, and here it comes from the Law Ministry. And there is a very strict warning that has been given to Twitter by Ravi Shankar Prasad. He is the law minister of the country, and he has told if Twitter fails to follow the law of the land, then they have to face the consequences. So this is a very strict warning that comes from Law Ministry to Twitter. Second news bit comes from the Home Ministry and the Defense Ministry, of course, mostly from the Defense Ministry. We have the Defense Minister here, Mr. Rajnath Singh, who has made a statement in the Rajya Sabha telling that there is disengagement in the Pangong begins. So it means that the India's and Chinese forces were on a standoff. That is, the Indian army and the Chinese army were stationed in the line of actual control in Ladakh region, and both the countries have agreed to take back their forces. And this is a very positive move considering the fact that the whole world is reeling under corona, and we know that India and China are the emerging economic powers of the world. So engaging in this kind of a spat is not a good thing for India and China. So it's a good positive move that comes from both the countries. Hope this is a permanent move and there will be no standoffs in near future at least. Right, targeting to conclude BPCL sale by June. So here is the Bharat Petroleum Company Limited. The government is thinking of privatizing this in the June quarter. So that's the news that is coming. So this is a privatization push that is happening by the government. Government to come out with policy on advanced battery tech to power electric vehicles. India eyes number 1 slot, says Gadkari. Gadkari is the MSME minister as well as the highway minister of the country. He also takes care of the transportation. So here India is thinking of coming out with a clear-cut policy which talks about the manufacturing usage of the batteries that are required for running the electrical vehicles, and India is aiming to become number 1 country when it comes to battery and electrical vehicles. So this is a great move. When there is a policy in place from the government, it means that there is a clear intent, and it also shows that there is political will to make sure that the consumption of petrol and diesel is reduced and the vehicles are replaced by the electrical vehicles. India has about 2 million active 5G devices in use, says Nokia. So this is a great news that is coming in. See, India is thinking of having a 5G spectrum. There are talks about the auction and all that. So even before the spectrum comes and we get the 5G services, there are already 2 million handsets which are already sold, which supports the 5G technology. So this shows the way in which Indian population is absorbing the new technology that comes. That's the primary reason for almost all the countries in the world to look at India as one of the hot destinations to market their products. So this is a very positive news that comes from Nokia. No minimum amount required in FASTag wallet, says NHAI. So there is a news which is telling that in future there will be no toll centers, toll gates in the toll collection points on highways. So this makes movement very, very easy. For that to happen, every vehicle should have a FASTag so that the automatic deduction of amount takes place. So earlier there were talks that there should be a minimum balance that should be maintained. So now NHAI, which is the authority for the Indian highways, so they have told that there will be no need to maintain any minimum balance. It's again a good news for people who often hit the highways. Right, Jack Ma spotted playing golf after weeks out of public view. Now this was news that was making rounds. So Jack Ma is one of the leading businessmen who comes from China. And we all know that he went missing for almost 3 months, and there were rumors about him, and there were a lot of talks. And one fine day he came out and made a video, and he was talking to some students coming from some rural area. Now he has been seen by people playing golf. It's good. It's a good news for all of us that very important, a leading businessman who also happens to be the richest Asian is seen again, and it's a good thing for all of us. Right. So Wistron to restart Karnataka factory. So there was a problem in the Wistron factory outlet or factory in Karnataka. Lakhs together worth of handsets were destroyed by the agitated employees. So now it has come to forefront that the company is again reopening its operations, and this company supplies handsets to Apple. So it's a good news that it's again a positive news. It's nice to see these companies coming back and opening their operations, and this generates employment. This increases the supply of goods and services. So it's a good thing that has happened in the country. Right. Are you betting on insurance firms after FDI? So in the budget, we have to remember this. In the budget, the limit for FDI on insurance has been increased from 49% to 74%. This is something which all of us have to remember. This is basically done in order to help the insurance companies to maintain the marginal balance which they have to maintain. So keeping that in mind, it is a good move, and the insurance companies will become capital rich, and it helps them to do well in long run. So now it is expected that the value of the insurance companies would go up. Proforma gross NPA of 17 banks is likely to be 7 lakh crore rupees. It's a huge amount. NPA stands for non-performing assets. It means that banks have given loans and loan has not come back, and then it becomes NPA. So 17 banks NPAs put together, it stands around 7 lakh crore rupees. It is huge money. So this is the biggest concern. That is why there is a proposal to have bad banks, which basically focuses on asset restructuring and asset management and other things. So this is the news that is coming from the banking sector. No new COVID-19 deaths in 7 states and union territories in 3 weeks, says government. This is one of the most positive news that we are hearing. So COVID had really shaken all of us, and this had created a lot of disturbance in all possible sectors. So now it is coming under control, and we also know that the vaccine is available now. So this should help the country do extremely well. Can't delay farm reforms anymore. So this is a statement that comes from Prime Minister Modi, and he was addressing the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and he has stressed on the importance of the farm bills. So very soon we can expect these farm bills, although there is agitation from the farmers, and government has made it very clear that it has kept the doors open and farmers can walk in and talk. So we just have to wait and see the way in which this will unfold, and let's be hopeful that whatever happens for the good, and it is for the good of the farmers and for the country. Right. Blow to Amazon. So the Future Group, which is floated by Kishore Biani, has been taken over by RAL, that is the Reliance Industries Limited. So Amazon had challenged this deal, telling that they should be given the offer first. But anyway, this comes from High Court telling that the Amazon's plea has been squashed, and the Future Group can be purchased by Reliance Industries Limited. After Brexit, so Brexit is Britain has decided to move out or already moved out of the European Union. So after Britain moving out of the European Union, India has started talking with both European Union as well as United Kingdom to start the trade. So India is thinking very strategically and making sure that the trade relationship with both EU and UK remains intact. Government may increase Manrega spend if need arises, says Anurag Thakur. Anurag Thakur is the Minister for State Finance. He is the Deputy Minister for Finance, and he is telling that the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act spending would continue. This is an act which guarantees 100 days of guaranteed work for the people who come from the rural areas. So now Anurag Thakur has told that government is thinking of spending more if the need arises and making sure that the ruralites are kept employed during the non-agricultural seasons most of the time. Right. So Chamoli Avalanche ravages NTPC's under construction 510 megawatt hydropower plant. This was one of the biggest tragedies that took place last week. Very saddening. Hundreds of people have already passed away. They are not to be seen, and 37 deaths have been confirmed. So it is very, very saddening. People have lost their lives, and on the other side there is infrastructural loss also. NTPC has lost a hydropower plant which was under construction. Many bridges and dams have been damaged or destroyed completely. So it's a very tragic thing that has happened. Our prayers for all those who have got caught in that tragedy. We hope that they all come back alive, intact, and we also see progress very soon in Uttarakhand. So this was the news that made rounds in the last week. We shall come back to you next week with more news updates. If you have liked the video, please hit the like button. If you are yet to subscribe to our channel, please do subscribe. If you have anything to ask or tell, please do leave it in the comment section. We shall get back to you. We shall read all the comments that you write, and we shall get back to you if you need any more clarification. Thank you so much for watching the video.